Good afternoon, people of God. Pray you're having a blessed and joyful day. Just want to share something really quick about Easter. So, if you look at Acts 12:3-4, it says, "And because he saw it pleased the Jews," just talking about King Herod, after he already killed one of Jesus' believers, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. Take heed to that part. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to the 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. So in reference to Easter and the unleavened bread, this is the Passover. I know a lot of us grew up in tradition that Easter is about the celebration of Jesus' death and resurrection, but no, that's what communion is for. Easter has nothing to do with the death and resurrection of Jesus. That's only communion. When you look back at Leviticus 23, it talks about the feast. It talks about what we're supposed to be celebrating, the traditions and whatnot. And the unleavened days of unleavened bread, the Easter, the Passover, that's about God freeing his people from slavery. That's what that is. And see what the issue is in between this is that, man has taken this and twisted it for their own thing. Like when you look at April is the first month of the year. And God told them, he said, this will be the beginning of months for you, because he's freed them. They're free. So we have to be mindful and be careful that just because everybody else doing it and they say it's out in the Bible, you got to go study for yourself to make sure. And God had been dealing with me about this for about 2 days, and I finally started studying and looking it up and whatnot, and he revealed this to me, that Easter has nothing to do with his death and resurrection. Y'all gotta study the word. We have to be careful. We have to be careful with traditions of man because they steer from God and his truth. Mark 7:9 says, "And he said unto them, full well you reject the commandment of God, that you may keep your own tradition." We have to study the word for ourselves to show ourselves approved. We have to study the word and meditate on it therein day and night. This is why God's people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because we're just going off what people saying and what people doing instead of studying the word for ourselves. So we have to be careful about this. Love y'all.